Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Serial Gaming here. So as per usual, we'll be getting 4 characters in the upcoming BT cycle. Not BT cycle, but the upcoming banner. So I'll be quick talking about all of them right now. The first off, we'll start off with Yda. Yda does get a little bit more improvement on her overall kit, with a little bit more HP dumps on her skill 1, skill 2, LD and EX with the Crystal Level 90 upgrade. The Plus version, of course, has a lot more HP dump, so if you want to get access to the Plus version, do remember to use her skill 2 before using any of the skill. So really though, the real reason to actually use Yda doesn't change, because the sad part about this, her upgrade is she does get more potency overall, so you can hit harder, but she doesn't get an upgrade in her HP attack, so it'll still be the same one single target HP attack with a splash damage. So that part itself just gonna make the run more tedious, because the only reason you really want to run Yda is Yda off strategy. So if it's not Yda offable, there's no real reason for you to actually run Yda. She does have evasion up a little bit and stuff, but it's not really that potent for you to choose her over any other BT characters that you have that deals a lot more damage. And follow-up decks, we have Aphmau. So Aphmau, I recently just run her in Fujin, together with Fujin, and she works really well. The idea behind Aphmau is that her warp mechanism is actually really good, because even though we already have RAM, Aphmau warp works a little bit different, where she can gain instantaneous warp between 2 characters, so that part itself is actually really good if you pair her up with the right team. Her rework introduced a little bit more HP attack in between her attacks, including her LD and her EX, as well as improved the bravery attack and HP attack as well that she normally does when her EX overhead buff is active. The additional ability is a little bit weird because she's a support character, but the additional ability of her actually improved only on her own stats, so that part is a little bit weird. But regardless, if you're running Aphmau, you're not really looking at the mediocre supportive aura that she has. You're looking at the shenanigan where she can just warp everyone in, or I mean, should I say warp the select target in, and for that itself, she also increased the EX recast gauge every time she warps that person in and when she uses her skill 1 and skill 2. So that part can be really helpful for units that actually relies a lot on their EX. For example, she can run with Fujin, which I just demonstrate, because Fujin's effect actually relies a lot on her FR condition, where she has to take the action up for herself. She can run with Sid Rain for the good old Sid Malcolm. She can run with Sync, because Sync EX is actually really useful, and Sync actually has a very slow turn rate, so together with Aphmau is actually really great. She can also run together with Sherlotta, which will be coming up in my discussion as to why, because Sherlotta actually have one of the condition where she has to battery the party to improve the condition, that she herself have to perform such a feat. So I guess this is the start of the era where they actually put characters that has to perform their own FR condition to actually improve the HP damage bonus up. But regardless though, this is not a good approach. I just hope that, I mean, it's lucky that they didn't continue this at a very long run. So yeah. Anyway, the warp mechanism of Aphmau is still really good. So she can introduce a lot of new team compositions. So in that part, I still think that she's a very good character to go for, but not really that strong for you to chase after. Follow up, next we have Exdeath. Okay, Exdeath is a really sad one. You can see that he does get a little bit more upgrade, but the only one that we're looking at is actually the LD debuff, where he poison the enemy at 550% of his own attack. So if you recall, or if you never run Exdeath before, his attack are all gravity, so he doesn't break the enemy, and his attack solely relies on HP poison for him to do actual good amount of damage. So that part is either the enemy taking turns with his LD, or either him using his BT, and his BT effect provide the HP damage poison every single field action. So right now with his BT plus, he actually increased the HP poison dealt based on 600% of his own attack, and he provides a 100% party attack up to the entire party, but also to himself. So that part is really synergized really well with that BT poison. But the sad part about Exdeath is always the fact that his freaking HP poison doesn't synergize or doesn't scale with FR HP damage bonus up. Like, why? I have no idea why Square Enix did what they did here, because that really put him in a very bad position. Imagine entering into an FR era and you're not being able to abuse that FR HP damage bonus up with your kit. So that is really sad. Aside from those, Exdeath is a really good character. He can cripple the enemy with his EX debuff. He has HP poison which ignore defense. He doesn't break the enemy, but he has 100% gravity on all its attack. So I would say he's still a very good unit if you pair him up with the right team composition, but the part, like I said, doesn't skill if FR really put him off. Anyway, coming into the main price of the banner, Sherlotta. So a lot of people actually compare Sherlotta and say that they want to skip her because of Lunafreya and shit, and that is just absolute bollocks if you ask me, because okay, Sherlotta doesn't get any rework except having more skill count for her skill 1, which really helps for her to be a solid FR battery. And she getting the BT. Her BT effect actually provides quite a little bit loaded of stacks. Ignore the fact that she has that additional effect where she has, similar with Kate's Sith LD effect, she also has a lot of brave gain in between party like Kral's EX overbuff or Steiner's kit if you may. And she also provides HP damage cap out, although not a lot, 20% if you BT plus her, but it's always a welcoming stats. Her FR, it's also a 3 split AoE HP attack, but the condition right now, which I'm not using the picture form that you normally do, because right now the picture form show the FR board version. So this one only increased 40% if she use a converted HP or bravery attack, I mean if the party use. And if Sherlotta is the one that recovers the allies battery, then it will be a additional 20% to the entire party. What makes her different in this FR than Fujin is that the higher HP damage bonus up, which is the converted bravery or HP attack, is not the selfish FR. The selfish one is actually the 20% only, so that part is a little bit more convincing for you to pull for her kit than Fujin's FR. Anyway, her FR condition is actually relatively easy to fulfill. Just using a converted HP attack or bravery attack means that you can use any unit to go with, because any unit right now already have that converted HP or bravery attack. The only problem is you want to use unit that actually has some utility or actually has some attack, I mean has some damage in their converted bravery or HP attack, which is the button you use really often for certain characters, not the skill 1 and skill 2. And these characters are units such as Arif, Yuna, Machina, Irvine, Lena, Hope, and a lot more, but this is just the prime example. Irvine and Lena also get their FR board in this banner, so that's a huge plus if you were to run them with Sherlotta. Anyway, Sherlotta, like I said, is a brave gain powerhouse. She's like Karen in this BT effect where she allows brave, refund, and batteries to the entire party at a very ridiculous amount of rate. So never compare her with Lunafreya, because honestly, they both provide different utility. In my opinion, Sherlotta is just really good. I use her a lot in JP even when Lunafreya is here, so there's no reason not to use her. I'm not saying Lunafreya is bad, I'm just saying why not get both of them, because they are both really good and really excel in what they does. So she's a solid FR battery as well, so if you still haven't get an FR battery, I highly recommend going for Sherlotta. The only problem with Sherlotta is, like I mentioned, she has one selfish FR condition which she herself can only provide. So yeah, like I keep mentioning in this video, Sherlotta is a very strong unit. I definitely recommend going for her. Personally, I will green her, I already maxed her and everything, I already blew her armor. And Exdeath is just really sad at this point because of that particular shenanigan. He's still good though, you can still make him work, but if you're expecting big damage from his HP poison, then you definitely want to leave it until later, maybe when they give him his rework or something else. But yeah, that's my opinion on this banner at this current moment. Anyway guys, thank you again for watching. Let me know what your plan is in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.